Hey guys, and welcome back. We've got some Playmates. We've got Michelangelo versus Bebop here. We've got a couple NECA Michelangelos. We've got the Last Ronin, Mikey, and we've got the World Tour, Mikey there. We're going to take a look at these guys. I didn't really have too much interest in these guys, but I seen them at Ollie's. They were $12 at Ollie's. So, keep an eye out because they ain't that bad for $12 just to have something throw around and play around with. I'm wondering how well the Bebop and the Rocksteady would scale with like NECA and stuff. I don't really do Tune Line, and I figure you could probably customize these guys pretty easily, but this is the packaging we're working with. We've seen it all spin around. Let's go ahead and pull them out and check them out. Right out of the box, you can see that we've got ankle straps, hand straps on both of these figures. I'm not seeing any other ones yet. One around his gun there instead of his arm. We've got these cool sewer stands in the back here. I think these are pretty cool. I can't wait to get those out and everything. Yeah, these are looking pretty cool with their names on them and everything. And looking from the back side, it does look like it's just those ankles and then those hands, but on him it's the gun on the one side. Let's get these guys out. I want to take a moment to appreciate this, the way that they packaged these in here. You could come around to this back side and just remove some of this tape, and you can lift these up and just slide these out, which means you can repackage these stands, which I don't know about you, but I love being able to repackage my stuff, and that's like one of the things I hate about McFarlane is that they want you to rip that whole back piece off to get that card and get those stands if you want them and everything, and then you just have a ripped up box and stuff, and so when you repackage it to put it away, it just kind of looks bad, you know what I mean? And like, so this way you can repackage these pretty easily. Pretty sweet. I like this packaging ideal. This is minor stuff, nothing major, like no make or breaks, but like I do think that being able to repackage everything is like awesome. I just like that. So we have our Mikey right here and everything. So I pulled out my new heat gun to try messing around with him to get his articulation going right and stuff, and I noticed a few things. First off, it's really cool the way they went about doing articulation on these guys and everything. Like, their hands are articulated. Like, he's got full on like articulation in his thumb and fingers here and everything. Now, this one is the one that I was having issues with, but after a little bit on the heat gun, like, these fingers all move independently, so that's how you get your kind of grip and your expressions and stuff. And I think that is super neat and everything, the way that they did that. That is something I'd like to see more and done smoother. Like, there's not a lot of figures that end up with our like finger articulation. I think that is such a need, and you usually don't see that unless you end up with something big like the HasLab Galactus or something, which is like a major sell on that Galactus for me personally. But what I was having issues with on this side here, I heated it up, I pulled the finger joint out. That is just a joint there. You got a ball peg that goes in there, and then these move independently on there. But if we can get a good view, you can see the paint. They painted right over the joint, and it affected this side a lot more. Now I'm gonna try to take like an X-Acto blade and try to kind of scrape off that excess paint so we can really get that articulation on these fingers, because this one doesn't want to move because that's the one that has all the buildup of paint. But moving on from that, and that just pops right back in, so super nice. The thing that I'm noticing the most, and I feel like we can even see it very clearly on the camera, is that he's got a lot of different shades of green going on, and I don't know what was up with that. His body is this one color green. You can see that it's kind of a darker, and then his arms, his head, his legs, they're all a lighter green than what his body is. And there's no blending to like make it like where like he's like transitioning colors and has like different color patterning going on. And that's like my main issue with that. It just looks like they ran out of like the one green paint and we're just like, fuck it, do another green paint. Now he is cool. He articulates very well, moves around very well and everything. And with the stand base, like he is going to hold like stay up in like wherever position you want him, even if like he wouldn't stand normally. On top of his finger articulation, he does also have the toe articulation, and like they are on the same rod, but you can move them separate of each other, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you wanted to get your figures playing some footsie, like, you know. This is just a simple peg stand too, so, and it's got decent weight to it. Like, he's holding him up right there like that. That's pretty nice for that base. Everything about him is very basic. It is a Playmates. Like, we could pop off his foot, just simple ball pegs there and everything. Like, he doesn't feel overly cheap, like, which is what I like. Like, he is a higher quality than, like, you know, like the classics and stuff, which is real nice to see. His head is literally on a little chub rub, and, like, you know, he just kind of floats around there. Real big gap in there. I don't think like you're gonna find too much stuff to really customize and swap heads around on. Like, I don't think these NECA heads would fit on him or anything like that, if like whatever reasoning you had to try doing that. He's got great range on his articulation, double elbows. He's got the full range on those shoulders. He does just have that ball pegged in there. He doesn't have like that extra shoulder piece for that like super far back reach, but like you can get him to like still get a far back reach. Like, these are going to be great to mess around with. We've got the double elbow. We do have articulation at like the waist here and everything. And the only thing that sucks is every time they do that, like their bodies just look kind of weird because of the way they have to split the shells. His lower half's not attached. Oh, let's move this out of the way. His lower half's not, like, for his shell is not attached to like the body itself. Like, the shell and like this upper torso is what's attached here, so that gives you that range to like, you know, give you some movement there, which is really nice. And we do have our full, like, we can do whatever the hell we want with this leg. Like, I was messing around with that already. Like, that is just such a nice like joint right there. Like, you can do so much with that. And it seems like it's going to hold and everything. And then you got the calf twist, the double knee, and then the full, like, you know, toe, and then the full ball, rotate, like whatever you want to do here. Real nice. Now for his, let's see, stand up. He does move very easily, even before I gave him a little heat treatment and everything. But he did have a few spots that did not want to move because of paint and everything. So that's just like the Playmates, you know, cheap brand, like kind of like toy, not collectible. It's a toy, you know. So like, yeah, he's gonna have a few little hiccups and like, you know, kind of low qualityness to him and everything. These are real nice. It looks like just some kind of cast like plastic resin or something like that in orange, painted the silver and everything. Now this, like, I don't think that's actual metal, but it's like a fake metal. It's not like a plastic, I don't think. And they feel really nice. Like, I don't feel like they're gonna break or anything. Honestly, they feel a little bit better than even NECA's do and everything. Like, I just don't like the way that NECA did theirs. They look great, but, and then let's see if we can get him to actually like hold. That's my big thing. This is his bad hand. So let's see if we can get him to... I mean, he's holding. I don't think we're going to get him to like look amazing holding things, because his hands do look funky, like some kind of weird gauntlet glove. You know what I mean? Just because of the way that those fingers are articulated. Like, I would love to see those fingers get like a high dollar look to them and still be able to articulate. But I don't think we're going to get that. I really don't. Like, I don't think anybody's going to make that. Like, whenever you come to finger articulation, it's always looking wonky unless you have, like, a big giant figure. Like, if these were, like, quarter scale, like, I'm sure they could get them to look, like, amazing. Or even 1/6 scale or something, you know? Moving on to the Bebop. He looks a lot cheaper out of the box than he did. I haven't given this guy a heat treatment yet, so we'll see how he moves, because it looks like that's the joint you want to be on. Oh, he's so tight. We'll be right back. Now then, for Mr. Bebop here. We had a bunch of tightness on all of his joints. We've got a little bit of this head movement, kind of up and downy, but I mean, his whole body and layout, the way that he's got no neck, like, he just doesn't have a whole lot of movement outside of that twist. I wonder what kind of peg we're working with. He's on there pretty good. I'm not gonna mess around with him too much right now. Let's put you back on there. He is a lot looser for his legs, and the way that his legs are, just, I don't really like it too much personally. And we bumped the camera, but gun, we just got this nice little cheap, simple, solid cast thing here. Paint that tip chrome and, you know, give it a little bit of chrome somewhere, and, you know, it looked pretty decent. His grenades here just kind of look like teapots. Like, these do lift up, and they're pretty malleable is the word I'm looking for, I think. So that, like, you can get his arms to do what you want. These are some hefty, like, ball joints here. Like, a little heat, like, to help them move at first, and then they kind of move pretty well on their own. Only problem that I'm having with a lot of his articulation is that because of his big bulging muscles everywhere and stuff, like, he doesn't get a lot of movement to things. He does have a double on the elbow, he does have a double on the knee, but, like, that's, like, you're getting a 90-degree angle at best there, and then, like, almost a 90 on the leg, just because of the way that, like, you can see where everything touches there. Like, you can't really, there's just nothing else you could do. You might be able to take this in a little bit and get him to, like, connect these 2 points at the very least, but that's, like, literally the range of articulation you are working with. These feet have twist, no, like, ball movement and everything, and the way that these legs are actually on here and everything kind of hindered his movement a lot, in my opinion. Like, you can't do much with that leg. Like, there's pretty much, like, whatever way you get him to stand is, like, kind of like how his legs are going to be stuck. So it's going to be up to however you pose those arms to see how he, you know, how you want him to look. Now, this part does twist on both sides of his arms and everything, and then his hands do twist, and his hands do have a bend articulation point as well. He doesn't get a whole lot of movement from his little, like, mid crunch, ab crunch spot and everything, because of, like, if you popped these 2 halves off and you, like, took a Dremel or something and, like, carved down, like, on the inside of that red, you might be able to actually get a little bit more, and that does feel like a very loose joint. Like, it was wibble wobbling kind of for me earlier too, before, like, when I was, like, trying to, like, move him around to give him a heat treatment and stuff. So, like, I don't know if, like, all of them are gonna have that loose of a joint, but it's not really making much of a difference. Like, I would just give him a little, like, putty or something like that to, like, kind of stop him from moving around so much. Like, I don't know, like, he could bend decently if you did something with this vest. This vest is just too thick, and it's like a solid piece that goes all the way around and stuff. So I think we can see just, like, it's thick. Other than that, he does look pretty good. We're gonna put him on the stand. And I'm gonna give him a little face gun can go in either hand, so. And see if we can give him. Now, if we bring this guy over, they appear to be similar sizes, but he needs to be bigger to fit with those NECAs and stuff, in my opinion. Even here, like, they look similar sizes. If we stand him all the way up, we are looking at a 6-inch figure. 6 1/4. And him be sitting about 6 as well. See if we can get a little bit more height there. Yeah, he falls right at that 6-inch mark, it seems. So, there you have it. Mikey and Bebop. Very interesting set.